Hello everyone, welcome back to another Watch Me Work on my channel. Today I'm going to transform these nails with these beautiful stars and French flash glitter nails into these dark pointed nails with some beautiful dark tortoise shell, and I did some little accents of gold in there as well, and I'm very excited to show you this one. This is a really fun kind of just a little twist on the tortoise shell look, and if you want to see how I did her previous nails, I also have a video up on that as well. So let's go and get started. If you're new here, my name is Katie and I am a nail technician, and my Watch My Work videos show you how I work on real life clients in the salon. I also film haul videos, nail art tutorials, all sorts of different types of videos. So I'd love for you to subscribe if you think that's something that you would enjoy. So getting started here, we are going to be removing her old set, and this client has clear luminary on her nails as a base. So if you're not familiar with luminary gel, I do have a video talking about kind of builder in a bottles and how to use them, and specifically how to use the luminary gel to build structure and keep your client's nails nice and strong. So make sure to check that out if you would like more information on the Luminary Nail Systems gel. So I'm just removing her old set with a carbide barrel bit from Erica's ATA. I do have my coupon code AMB10, which would save you 10% off bits, implements, anything from Erica's ATA. So go ahead and check that site out if you are in need of any bits or cuticle pushers, nippers, anything like that. So again, I'm just removing her old set with that bit, and I have it about probably around 28,000 RPMs. I do go pretty high because it actually keeps you from pushing down and creating more heat. So don't be afraid to turn up the E-file just a little bit so that it really glides and you don't have to do quite as much work when removing the old color. I am also using this bit to shorten her nails a little bit, and she did request a shape change. She requested that we take them from a rounded shape to more of a pointed almond shape. So I am just removing the excess length that we have a little bit, and then I will reshape them into that pointed shape after I fill them. So for her prep, I'm just pushing back her cuticles, and I have had this client on previous videos, and I talk about how her cuticles are a little bit stickier or a little bit harder to push back and remove. They are very like attached to the nail. They really don't want to lift up that easily. So I have to usually do a little bit more work to kind of get them to work with me and get them to lift up off that nail and open up that cuticle pocket so we can polish and fill the nails up as close to the cuticle as possible. So I'm using a flame bit from Erica's ATA to do this, and for the speed, it's around 12,000 RPMs. I'm just removing that skin that's stuck onto the nail plate, and I'm going down the sidewalls as well, and you can also use these bits to kind of remove any dry skin on the side of the finger. You can kind of do all that stuff for you. And this also is prepping her nail plate as well, so I don't really have to worry about going back in with a file to prep the nail plate. This is kind of doing all of that stuff in this one step. And now I'm using the same bit, but I've actually flipped it into the reverse direction, and I'm going down the other side of the nail. And so this is going to, again, open up that cuticle even more so that we can get as close to the cuticle as possible and get a really nice, clean look. Now I'm using the Erica's Boss Lady nippers to remove any skin that is lifted up off of the nail and it's really like hanging there, waving at me. I always say this in every video, if you're not comfortable with this part, do not do it. You do not have to do the nipping part. However, I feel comfortable with it and I like to get the cuticles as clean as I possibly can. Lastly, I'm going in with the Erica's ball bit, and this is in the fine grit. And when you are going over the skin that you've just nipped, you definitely want it to be in a fine grit because you don't want to risk ripping or tearing that skin at all. You're just polishing it, removing any little bits of dead skin that might be left over, and smoothing over those blunt edges that you just made by using the cuticle nippers. This is going to help prevent any hangnails, anything like that. So it's really great. My favorite way to kind of finish off the cuticle prep. And I'm going in the forward direction and again around the same RPMs as the cuticle bit, which was around 12,000. So now it's time for application. So I've just cleansed the nails of any dirt and debris. You want to make sure you can get them super clean. And I am applying my Luminary Commit Primer. This primer does not need to be cured, it just air dries. So I'm just doing one coat of that over all of the nails. And I'm sticking with the clear Luminary. So the color is called Clarity. It's just their clear. And I go in and I scrub in like a thin layer over the entire nail, and this would be called the slip layer. So I'm not going to cure this at all. I am going to then grab a bigger dollop of gel and then float that on into that slip layer, letting it kind of smooth out and getting that nail as smooth as possible and building up that structure. So I'm going to do this on every single nail, going back and forth, building up the nails and then curing them one at a time. You can also grab a detailer brush to move the gel around a little bit more, a little bit easier, and kind of play with it a little bit like that just to get it in that position that you want it to be before you cure it. So once the gel is all applied and cured, it's time to shape. So basically for the shape, I'm going around the free edge first and sharpening that point, going from one side and then to the other side, kind of going back and forth until it's evened out on both sides and I have the nice point in the center. And then I'm going to go over the surface of the nail just to make sure that it's nice and smooth, get rid of any bumps if there are any, and then we're going to go straight into the color. So now for the color, the main color that we chose was this really dark navy blue. This is called Brick's Time from Luxa Polish. It's absolutely stunning, so beautiful, like that rich dark blue color. So we did this on the pinky, the pointer, and the thumb. So the middle two nails are going to be our tortoise shell. So I went ahead and did 2 coats of this color on those nails. Now for the tortoiseshell color, I do have a totally separate video on how to do tortoiseshell, and I use this glass gel from Daily Charm, which is called Peach Bellini. But for this look, we kind of wanted to darken it a little bit, so I'm adding a little bit of the dark red jelly from Magpie Beauty, and then I'm going to mix that up and kind of see what color we get, because I wanted it more of like a deeper kind of reddish orange tone. Maybe slightly brown. So I went ahead and mixed this up. I tried it on her nail and I felt like it was a little bit too red still. So then I went in and added a little bit of the glass brown, which is called Old Fashioned from Daily Charm, and that worked perfectly. So don't be afraid to like mix colors together to kind of get the look that you're going for. So we made this beautiful kind of like rich dark burgundy brown color for the base for our tortoiseshell. So after applying the base for our tortoiseshell and curing that, I'm going to apply a blooming gel. This one is called Gel Melt and it's from Profiles Backstage. So I'm just applying that over the nails, not curing it. And then I'm going to go in with my brush and drop in a little bit of the glass brown that I used earlier. And then I'm going to also drop in a little bit of black, just randomly. It does not have to be any sort of rhyme or reason. That's why I kind of love tortoiseshell, because it's just like an organic kind of pattern. It just is what it is. So you can just kind of play around with it, and those colors are going to melt into that blooming gel really, really nicely, and it's just going to fade out and blend out, and it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So again, I do the brown first, and then I go in with the black straight on top of that, and then once I'm happy with that, I go and cure it. After that, I go in with one more layer of what we used for our base color, that mix. I go one more layer of that over the top just to kind of deepen it a little bit and add a little bit more of that depth and dimension. Next, I went ahead and top coated all of the nails, including the tortoiseshell ones and the solid color ones. And then I decided to give the tortoiseshell ones a buff before I applied a little bit of gold, because I felt like some of the areas had a little bit of like bumpiness just from the way that the tortoiseshell look is created with the dropping in like the different colors. So I decided to give them a good buff first, just to make sure they're nice and smooth before I applied the gold accents. And for the gold, I am using the black gel paint from Magpie, and you can actually chrome this gel paint. So what I'm doing is I am painting on some dots as well as kind of like 4-point stars, and then I'm going to cure that, and then I'm going to use my gold chrome from Magpie and go over what I just painted, and then you're gonna have these really gorgeous like gold chrome stars and stuff. I think it was like the perfect accent for this dark tortoiseshell. And then I just dusted off the excess chrome and top coated, and the look was done. So this was the end result. I hope you guys enjoyed this watch me work video. I love this tortoiseshell look. I feel like tortoiseshell has become so popular in the nail industry. It's like taken it by storm. And so I kind of liked this little bit of different take on it, where you can deepen it a little bit and kind of change the tone up. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to subscribe. Make sure to hit that like button. And if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments, and I always try my best to answer all you guys' questions. I really appreciate everyone who watches my videos. So thank you again, and I will see you guys next time.